or odor, a place to apply deodorant before leaving the house. But beneath this simple view lies a deeper truth. Your armpits are not merely about comfort. They are an intimate gateway to your immune health. Most people live their entire lives believing that underarm care means masking odor. Yet the armpits contain a network of lymph nodes, small, quiet guardians of your body. These nodes filter toxins, carry away waste, and support the defense of your immune system. Imagine them as streams flowing beneath the forest floor, unseen but essential. When they are blocked, the entire forest suffers. Neglecting the underarms allows sweat, bacteria, and dead skin to gather. Over time, pores become clogged, rashes appear, and odor persists even when covered with deodorant. Residue from antiperspirants can build up layer upon layer, trapping toxins and irritating the very lymph nodes meant to protect you. Left unattended, this can lead not only to irritation, but to painful infections or abscesses that demand far more effort to heal than to prevent. Dr. Helen Carter, an expert in lymphatic health, once shared a simple image with me. Your underarms are like a natural drainage system. If they become clogged, the whole body struggles to release its waste. Over time, the immune response weakens and the energy that should be used for healing is wasted on struggle. So how do we honor this area? The practice is not complicated, yet it must be done with care. Begin in the shower with warm water. Warmth opens the pores, allowing sweat and debris to loosen. Use a soft washcloth or a gentle sponge. Treat the skin here as you would polish a fragile piece of crystal, small circles, then strokes in different directions. The purpose is not to scrub harshly, but to cleanse thoroughly. Choose your soap wisely. Harsh or heavily scented soaps can disturb the natural balance of your skin. A mild, fragrance-free cleanser allows the underarms to breathe and remain calm. And always rinse completely. Soap left behind creates dryness and itching and may lead to irritation that lingers throughout the day. I recall the story of Olivia, a retired teacher of 65. For years, she accepted the rashes beneath her arms as part of aging. She believed nothing could be done. But when she shifted to a gentle soap and took the time to wash and rinse her underarms with intention, she was astonished. The irritation and bumps vanished as though a weight had been lifted. It was like night and day, she said. What changed? Only a few minutes of mindful care. Washing, however, is not the end. Drying is just as essential, yet most people overlook it. Think of clothing left damp in a hamper. It grows musty, bacteria multiplies, and what was clean becomes foul. The same is true of damp skin beneath the arms. Residual moisture invites irritation, fungi, and infection. So step out of the shower and dry with patience. Do not rub harshly, for this creates tiny abrasions where bacteria may settle. Instead, pat gently with a clean, soft towel. For sensitive areas, keep a towel used only for this purpose. Then, if you can, allow your underarms to air dry for a moment before applying deodorant. This short pause gives the skin time to settle and reduces irritation. You may find that even your deodorant works more effectively when the skin is calm. Already, after a single week of such care, many people notice changes. The skin feels smoother, less irritated. Pores are no longer clogged and odor is greatly reduced because the bacteria that cause it have been washed away. Yet underarm hygiene carries a deeper importance. Remember the lymph nodes, more than 20 of them gathered quietly in this region. They are part of your body's natural defense system, filtering toxins and supporting immunity. By keeping this area clean and free of buildup, you are not only maintaining freshness, you are also strengthening the pathways of your inner protection. Olivia herself was surprised to discover not only healthier skin, but also a greater sense of well-being. She described feeling lighter, as though her body was working more smoothly. And indeed, when the lymphatic system is allowed to flow freely, the body spends less energy fighting against blockages. Circulation improves, energy rises, even mood can shift. Think of this practice as clearing a river. When the current is blocked, debris collects and the water stagnates. When the path is open, the river flows, bringing nourishment to the land. So it is with your underarms. When cared for, they allow your lymphatic rivers to run clear, supporting the whole landscape of your health. This is not a matter of vanity, it is a matter of respect for your immune system, for your energy, for the quiet work your body does each day without your awareness. By giving a few minutes of attention to an often ignored place, you return balance to the larger whole. So I invite you, do not think of underarm care as trivial. Think of it as tending to one of the hidden doors of your health. Each gentle wash, each patient rinse, each careful drying is a small act of gratitude. It is a way of telling your body, I see you, I honor the work you do for me. And in return, your body responds with freshness, with strength, and with resilience. When such simple habits are practiced daily, they ripple outward. Less irritation, more energy, stronger defenses, a body that feels lighter, calmer, and more alive. Now, as we leave the underarms behind, we will continue this journey. There are still other hidden places where neglect can create suffering and where mindful care can bring restoration. Next, we turn to the breath itself and to the nose, the gateway through which life enters with every inhalation. Breathe better, live better. These words are not a slogan, but a reminder of something most of us forget. Life itself is carried on the breath. Each day, we take nearly 20,000 breaths. They come and go without effort, without conscious thought. And because they are automatic, we rarely pause to consider their quality. Yet what is more important than the very air that enters our body, moment after moment, for as long as we live? When breathing is effortless, we hardly notice it. But when the nose becomes blocked or the breath grows shallow, we are suddenly reminded of its power. Poor breathing, accumulated over time, slowly drains the body. It robs us of energy, disturbs our sleep, clouds our mind, and leaves us vulnerable to illness. The nose, a small and often neglected gateway, is in truth one of the most powerful natural filters on this earth. It was designed to sift out dust, allergens, and harmful bacteria before they ever reach the lungs. Think of the air filter in your home. It collects particles you cannot see, keeping your living space clean and breathable. But if you never clean or replace that filter, the air becomes stale, heavy, and polluted. The same is true for the nose. When neglected, the passages collect microscopic irritants, pollen, dust, and pollutants. Slowly, the airways swell, leading to congestion, restless sleep, and even snoring that interrupts the night's rest. Science has shown that poor nasal hygiene is not just uncomfortable, it has serious consequences. It is linked to higher rates of respiratory infection and reduced oxygen reaching the brain. And when oxygen is reduced, every system of the body suffers. Energy wanes, concentration fades, memory dulls. Truly, if the nose is not working at full capacity, neither is the rest of the body. Helen Carter, a respiratory health expert, once described the nose as the body's security system. It filters the bad, humidifies the air, and ensures that what enters the lungs is as pure as possible. But like all systems, it requires maintenance. As we grow older, our natural defenses slow down. That is why caring for the nose becomes even more vital, not just for comfort, but for health, for sleep, and for clarity of mind. How then can we care for this hidden gateway? The practice is simple. Begin your day with a gentle rinse. Even a quick splash of warm water around the nostrils helps clear away the dust and mucus that gather overnight. For deeper cleansing, use a saline spray. Think of it as a refreshing shower for your nose, washing away irritants and restoring flow. If congestion or seasonal allergies trouble you, a neti pot can be a true gift. This small device, shaped like a teapot, uses a saline solution to flush the passages completely. Those who try it for the first time often describe the sensation as receiving a literal breath of fresh air. Steam, too, is a natural healer. A warm shower or a bowl of hot water with a towel over the head allows you to breathe in moist heat, loosening stubborn mucus and opening the airways. Add a few drops of eucalyptus or peppermint oil and the cooling relief is immediate. But technique matters. Many people blow their nose too hard, pinching both nostrils and forcing air in a way that pushes mucus deeper into the sinuses. This creates more pressure and irritation. The wiser way is gentle. Clear one nostril at a time using a soft tissue and always wash your hands afterward. I have seen again and again how such simple practices transform lives. Consider James, a retired construction worker of 69. For decades he inhaled dust on job sites and accepted his constant congestion as an unavoidable part of aging. I thought it was just normal, he admitted. But when he began waking at night, gasping for air, he knew something was wrong. A doctor suggested a daily nasal routine. At first he resisted, but soon after beginning saline rinses and steam inhalation, he felt as though a switch had been flipped. He could finally breathe again, deeply and fully, and the fog that had weighed him down began to lift. Or take Bella, a gardening enthusiast of 76. She used to wake each morning with her head heavy, her nose blocked, her mind sluggish. It felt like my head was full of cotton, she said. But once she added a simple nasal spray to her mornings, her experience changed. Now I wake refreshed instead of groggy. I breathe easier. I feel more awake. She had never realized how much her breathing shaped her energy. The benefits of nasal care often appear quickly. Clearer breathing, less congestion, fewer sniffles, deeper sleep, free of the interruptions of snoring or waking to clear the nose. More oxygen reaching the brain, bringing sharper focus and steadier energy. Even fewer allergy flare-ups because irritants are washed away before they can spark a reaction. But there is more. As we age, the delicate tissues of the nose can dry and crack, especially in winter. This dryness makes breathing uncomfortable and can create openings for infection. A small touch of coconut oil or vitamin E applied with a clean cotton swab can soothe and protect these passages. Such a gesture takes only seconds, but it prevents discomfort and supports ongoing health. It is striking how something so small can make such a difference. A habit of minutes practiced each day can change the quality of sleep, restore clarity of mind, and uplift the spirit. The nose, though often ignored, is in fact one of the body's most faithful guardians. When cared for, it repays us with every breath we take. Breathing is more than physiology, it is also a teacher. It invites us to pause and notice the present moment. When the breath is shallow and strained, life feels heavy. When the breath is open and full, life feels lighter. Each inhalation is an arrival, each exhalation is a letting go. To clean and care for the nose is not only to improve health, it is also to honor the very rhythm of life. So I invite you, tomorrow morning before you begin your day, stand quietly at the sink. Rinse your nostrils with warm water or a saline spray. Take a breath through those clear passages and notice how much freer it feels. Allow the simplicity of the act to remind you of something profound, that life is carried on the smallest of habits and that by tending to even the most overlooked parts of yourself, you make space for energy, clarity, and peace. This is the hidden power of nasal hygiene, and as we continue our journey, we will see that the same truth applies everywhere. What is neglected often holds the key to renewal. Now, having cared for the gateway of breath, we turn to another small hidden place that few think of, the navel, the center of the body, and a surprising mirror of health. It may seem almost unbelievable that something as small as cleaning the belly button could bring such a clear improvement in health and comfort. Yet when we remember that the body is an interconnected whole, the truth becomes clear. Even the smallest places, if left unattended, can influence the harmony of the entire system. A single neglected detail can ripple outward, affecting the way we feel in body and spirit. I once spoke with Jane, a woman of 78. For most of her life, she never gave her belly button a second thought, yet she often noticed a faint odor that troubled her. I thought it was my clothes, she confessed, or perhaps my soap, maybe even my diet. But when she began the simple habit of cleaning her navel each day, the mystery dissolved, the smell vanished entirely. More than that, she noticed the skin around her abdomen felt softer, fresher, and healthier. Such results may seem surprising, but they are not rare. As we age, changes in hormones, the effects of medications, and the slowing of skin renewal can alter both the scent and texture of our skin. A habit as small as cleansing the belly button restores balance and freshness. It prevents irritation before it begins, and it reminds us that self-care does not always require grand gestures. Often the smallest acts carry the deepest impact. Still, awareness is important. While regular cleaning is usually enough, there are signs that should never be ignored. Persistent redness or irritation may signal the beginning of infection. Discharge or unusual itching can indicate bacterial or fungal growth. Pain that does not fade should be taken seriously, especially for those who once wore piercings. Even piercings that healed long ago may leave behind small hidden pockets where infection can take root. For individuals with diabetes or weakened immunity, what begins as a minor irritation can quickly become a serious concern. If you have a piercing, extra care is needed. The hole never fully closes. It remains a small space where sweat, oils, and bacteria can gather. Each day, take a few moments to cleanse gently with warm water and mild soap. Dry the area completely, for moisture is a friend to bacteria. Look closely for redness, swelling, or sensitivity, small signals that speak before larger problems arise. What we learn from the belly button is this: nothing in the body is too small to matter. By honoring even the most overlooked areas, we honor the whole. The daily act of cleansing this quiet center is more than hygiene. It is a gesture of mindfulness, a way of saying to ourselves, I care for every part of this vessel that carries me through life. Small changes often carry the greatest weight. Who could have imagined that 5 small and easily forgotten places on the body, the tongue, the feet, the underarms, the nose, and even the belly button, could hold such influence over our health and our sense of well-being? Yet this is the truth. By giving them attention each day, you protect yourself from infection, you strengthen circulation, and you allow the immune system to work with greater ease. You discover more freshness, more comfort, and more energy to meet the day. These are not difficult practices. They do not demand expensive tools or endless hours. They ask only for awareness and for the willingness to care for yourself with consistency. Each act, though small, becomes a gesture of respect toward the body that has carried you through the years. As you reflect now, ask yourself which of these habits speaks most to your own life. Which one will you begin today? Remember, transformation does not come through force, but through steady attention. Begin with one small change and let its influence spread quietly like ripples on water. In this way, health, clarity, and vitality return step by step, breath by breath. In the end, caring for the body is never only about hygiene. It is about presence. When you wash the tongue, or dry the feet, or cleanse the breath through the nose, you are not just removing what is unclean, you are also returning to yourself. These simple acts remind us that health is built not in great leaps, but in gentle steps taken each day. Honor the vessel that carries you, and it will honor you in return. In this way, even in age, life remains fresh, strong, and deeply awake.